What's happening, everyone? My name is Vijay Bose. Today we're going to be doing an unboxing video. The topic for today is all about Meike 50mm t2.1 cine full frame prime lens. Wow, that's a mouthful. Anyway, we've been eyeing on this lens for quite some time, ever since Meike introduced this one in the market. And again, they have a whole lineup that they're planning from, I think it's from 16mm all the way to 135mm. So 50mm is the first in that lineup. We did not invest in this lens until recently because we wanted to do a little more research and read all the reviews that's available on the internet, and actually also watch all the video reviews that is already available on YouTube. And every one of them spoke very highly about this lens, the lens build quality, the lens image quality, and all the aesthetics of this lens and things like that. And we also like the output that this lens produced. And so far, actually, we don't have any experience with this lens, but we actually watched other people's content and the images that they shared through their videos, and they are looking good. But we wanted to actually get a feel of this, so we actually pulled the trigger and bought this lens. We have it here in our studio. And we want to do an unboxing video today and then talk about it. All right. And before we get started, let's roll that introduction. All right. This lens, Meike 50mm t2.1 lens, is actually retailing for $959. It is available on Amazon. It's available on B&H. It is also available on MikeGlobal.com. And if you're interested in grabbing a copy, I will have a link in the description. They also introduced 35mm t2.1 cine full frame lens on December 22nd. Again, that's the second one in that whole lineup. We are excited in actually in this lineup because we've been using Rokinon cine primes for quite some time, and Rokinon is a fantastic lens. There's no question about it. But if you're getting started in filmmaking, actually, Rokinon cine lens is a fantastic lens to start with. We wanted to step up our game and actually replace all the Rokinon cine lens with the Meike cine primes. We own 4 Meike cine primes for Micro Four Thirds mounts, and we use it with Blackmagic Pocket 4K cinema camera. And we recently used it on our short film, and we loved the image quality that those lenses produced, and the build quality is phenomenal. So we've been really looking at this full frame ones introduced recently, especially the 50mm. By the way, this video is not sponsored by Meike, and we bought this lens with our own money, so we can say anything that we like to say. But I wanted to share our perspective about how I feel about this lens and the build quality and so on and so forth. Again, I will not be biased at all. That I just want to give that disclaimer to you. Like I said earlier, this is actually retailing for $959, so you can actually check that out on either B&H, Amazon, or MikeGlobal.com. All right, let's get started. All right, that is the beauty right here. And we received this lens this afternoon, and from B&H, and I took it out from B&H packaging, and this box is right here. And we're going to open it together and see what is inside, and then talk about it. All right. Before we open the box, this box also has got some specifications here. Is the focus okay? Can you see it? Hope you're able to see it. The lens type, obviously it's a cinema lens, and the lens structure is 12 elements in 8 groups. The minimum aperture is t2.1. The maximum is t22. The focal length is 50 mm. The minimum focusing distance is about 0.6 meter, or 23.6 inches. The focus rotation is about 330 degrees. Speaking of focus rotation, we are used to, up to 270 degrees. When 180, 120 to 120 to 270 degrees, and that's okay. And if you are used to pulling the focus using a hand, then this 330 degrees is going to be a bit of a stretch. So if you're using any mechanical follow focus or any electronic focus motor, and this is not going to be a problem. All right, and the filter size is 82 millimeter. So I'm sure that most of you own 82 millimeter filters, so that filter can work with this lens as well. And that's about the specifications. Let's actually open this box. All right. All right. There's a padding here. There we go. That's the bad boy sitting inside. All right. So let's actually take it out. And you got to be really careful because this lens is really, really heavy, especially when you take it out of this box. Hold it with both hands. Otherwise, there's a chance that this lens may fall off. All right, so one more thing. Just want to remove the cover. All right. So let's move the box. There we go. That is our bad boy. Meike 50 mm t2.1 cinema full frame lens. The beauty of this lens actually is that this can also fit They can also work with Super 35, APS-C, Micro Four Third, camera systems. And we have all those flavors in our studio, so we wanted to actually invest in this full frame lenses actually as opposed to a Micro Four Third lineup. Because we own almost 5 of them, 5 Micro Four Third Cine Primes from Meike, and we absolutely love it. But we were eyeing on this full frame lens actually now, and it makes a business sense to actually invest in the full frame lens because it's a future proof, and Meike touts that this is a 8K ready lens. So we wanted to really test it out and see how this lens can hold up on the field when it pairs it with the right camera system. In fact, we use primarily Blackmagic Pocket 6K for all our narrative work, and we also use 4K on the gimbal. And we also have Sony and Canon full frame cameras as well. So the advantage of using full frame is because this can work with all of those camera systems. And so look at the size of this lens. This is Rokinon on the side. Rokinon Cine Prime 50 and a 50 mm Cine DS, and the other one is Meike 50 mm full frame. Both of them are full frame compatible lens, but Meike is completely made of metal, and so this can actually withstand the rigor of serious production. And let's actually talk about this lens. All right. All right. It's got a nice lens cap with a 50 as a marking on it. And this lens cap doesn't feel cheap at all. This, I think this is also a metal. I think this feels like a metal. The outer diameter of this lens is about 90 millimeter, so this can work with any standard matte box that you probably already have. Again, like I said earlier, about the filter thread, right? It's 82 mm filter thread, and let me close the lens so that I don't accidentally touch the lens. The focus throw is so smooth. You know, it feels so good in our hand, and it's beautiful. It is nicely dampened, and the focus markings are both in meters as well as in feet, which is pretty good. And let's actually look at the T-stops. The T-stops is also very smooth. You know, the only grievance that I have with respect to the T-stop is it's really smooth. You know, so over a time, if you're changing these T-stops very frequently, then this becomes really smooth, right? So you may likely to bump these T-stops unless you pay attention to this. So that's again, it's our concern. So this may not be a problem for you guys, but that's something to watch out for. Okay, but that's not a showstopper at all. You know, this is a beautiful lens. You know, aesthetically pleasing. You know, look at the markings actually. You know, it's all in yellow, and you know, and these yellow markings actually, I think this is going to be even visible even at night when in the pitch dark. This yellow will stand out. You know, and that's a beauty. And this is actually, and we got an EF mount because now we have a Super 35 camera is actually its EF mount. But according to Meike's website, this same lens is actually also available in PL, EF, RF, E, L, and Z mounts, which is remarkable. And the whole set includes 16 mm, 24 mm, 35, 50, 85, 105, and 135, all t2.1. And that is again a fantastic lineup. And 50 being the first one in that whole lineup. They all, like I said earlier, they also introduced 35 mm recently, and it is only available for pre-order. But if you pre-order before January 20th, you will get $40 off. That is the retail price for that lens is actually, it's currently is $958. This 50 mm is $959. And again, compared to many cine primes out there in the market, that price is not at all expensive one. It's $959. You know, it's less than $1,000. You get a fantastic cine prime. You know, from what I've seen from other videos. And we placed an order for 35 mm as well. You know, I think that's going to come sometime later this month or early next month. They're going to start shipping only on January 25th onwards. So I think it's going to come here probably in the first week or second week of February, I guess. And that's about this lens actually, you know. And you know, this lens is a thing of a beauty. You know, it's absolutely fantastic. It feels so good in our hand. But what is more important is not just the build quality, right? The aesthetics is all good. But what is more important is image quality, right? The lens breathing. And what we've seen so far from other people's videos, the lens breathing is very minimal. You know, that is one of our biggest concerns with a prime lens actually is, you know, if it is in photography world, you know, this lens breathing is not an issue because, you know, you just focus on one point and take the photograph. But in narrative, in cinema world, the lens breathing is it's a kind of a nuisance, and it is a distraction to an eye. So from what I've seen is this lens breathing is very minimal, and it is well controlled. And we want to test it in a contrasting environment and how this lens holds up, how this can control the flares, the chromatic aberration, and so on and so forth, even including the low light. This t2.1, I think it's as compared to photographic lens, this is probably about 1.5, 1.6, f-stop kind of a thing. So this is also a good lens to work in the low light situations as well. And since this is an EF mount, we wanted to actually test whether this can work with any speed booster. Since it's a full frame, this can work with the Metabond's Ultra 0.64 crop factor. But we don't have 0.64 in our studio, but we have a 0.70 speed booster. We wanted to see whether this lens can actually work with the speed booster or not. That's something that we wanted to test it out. So if it can work with the speed booster, this lens can also pair it with the Micro Four Thirds mounts, which is going to be pretty remarkable. And that's about it, guys. And before we wind down this video, I want to ask you guys whether what you like about this video. Please share your comments and thoughts using your comments, and also let us know what kind of content that you're interested in. And we have some plans for our future videos as well. One of the categories that we want to cover is the cinematography tips, because we learned so much from others and also from our field experience. We wanted to share that experience through our videos with all of you guys. And so that is something that we are planning. And if you are interested in that type of content, please follow our channel. Please consider subscribing to our channel. Also hit that notification or like or whatever button that you see, you hit all of them, and so that you will not miss any content that we do in the future. And we primarily do live streams. We also share tips and technologies related to live streams through this channel. We also share filmmaking tips, and we also share technologies, tips, and also again plan on doing some cinematography tips actually through this channel as well. So some awesome stuff is coming, so stay tuned for that. And the next in a couple of weeks, actually, we want to test this lens on the field, and we're going to be sharing that experience as well through some videos as well. So until then, I'll see you on the next one. All right, bye.